We're
Hi.
in the podcast.
We're in the podcast and we're doing a live show. So there's a lot of things happening.
Talking
right now.
about this weekend and the wedding, and you're coming.
Right.
I'm making a video.
What time are you? Well, anyways,
She's coming.
tell us later.
Bye, Allie. Dude, okay. Well, we're just waking up. No, we're not. I'm awake.
I'm awake.
It's just weird to be alive all of a sudden because we've been in we've been busy. There's a lot of stuff
going on. We did the calendar photo shoot, so
we are doing a calendar this year. I can't believe we're doing a calendar this year.
No, because we were not
gonna.
We're too busy. We can't do it. We can't make it happen. And then just last minute, we're like, we got to make it happen. We can't not do a calendar.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. It was too much, but we did it.
Who put it together mostly?
But I'm happy we did it now. Now that it's done, I'm like, sweet.
Who put it together?
Colette Butler.
Yeah.
Is that your name?
Were you proud of the outfits? I was proud that I threw those outfits together. This is something that
I think Carly
a girl
even
would appreciate. Carly would appreciate. I threw those outfits together, bam, 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 like that. And we got a really awesome photographer who we are working with here in Idaho, and she's awesome. And so, yeah, we're really excited about the calendar. So go get those pre-orders.
You guys, look. Blake bought some books, bro. This is really cool, Blake. I want to try to put these in order of when I read them. In which order?
If you want to do an official podcast.
I do. Yeah, I think on this next podcast, I want to do a book podcast and call back to this. Yeah, I was just gonna think. I'm like, I want to know. I want to have a solid 10.
It would be cool to line them up.
Yeah. What is this? 3, 4, 5. I would say these are definitely
you have
in.
Your book.
I wouldn't know if my book is in there. I would put it in because it's my book, but
right.
But these are classics, man. To me, if you even these 5 books right here, if you learn and practice and relearn and keep reapplying the principles in these 5 books, you cannot help but to be a multimillionaire eventually. And if that doesn't matter to you,
or even just a better person.
Yeah, I'm just saying, what matters to you? Some people like money. When I started reading these books, honestly, I wanted money. I wanted to be able to make money to provide for you and all those little people that are coming out of your body. Because I'm like, there's another person coming out of her body. And it has a mouth too. All these mouths. So when I started reading this book, I think this is actually the very first book that I ever on my own said, I'm going to read this book, because I was right at the point where I was home from my mission and I was thinking about getting married and what am I going to do for a living? Mm-hmm. And just the title of that for some reason caught my eye. And then as I picked it up, I remember this so vividly. As I picked it up in the self-help section, I remember somewhere in here reading a little excerpt about how he talked about how his rich dad was saying, don't go to college. And I, in my mind, was saying, don't go to college. So I was like, I'm buying this book. This book is saying what I'm thinking. I don't want to go to college either. So Robert T. Kiyosaki, very famous author, because of this book, I have been quoted as saying that I don't really like many other of his books. To me, he used the success of this one to try to do a bunch of other books. And I'm like, dude, you're just saying the same thing over and over and over. But this one book, I get it, and I'd read it, and I would understand the principles. If you're just starting out in life and you're like, how am I going to get money? And, to me, anyways, this is the very first book that I read. Mm-hmm. I remember sitting in the bathtub reading it, and this is maybe gross, but you ever sit in a bathtub and you're trying not to get your hands wet because you want to be able to read the book, but then you start getting really sweaty. And then
and now it happens with your electronics.
And then you're sitting there trying to read the book and you start getting really sweaty. You want to wipe the sweat off, but then it's a paperback. So then it's there's sweat and water getting all over your book. I remember being able to turn the pages really well because my fingers are so sweaty reading this book in the bathtub. That's how vivid I remember reading this book. These pages, it's the same paper too. This is a brand new book that Blake just bought, but it's the exact same paper that I remember turning with my sweaty fingers because I was trying to wipe the sweat off of my face as I was reading that in the
So
tub.
Get sweaty and read this book.
Get naked, get sweaty, and get knowledge. That's what I'm trying to say to you people. Okay? Okie doke.
I just tweeted you the link to the live show.
Oh, I should link it. Yeah, do we got anybody in here? I should have said all of that previously. After I tweeted it.
Yeah, sometimes I forget when we're actually in a live show.
But I often think we're going to make this live later, so everything we said will be seen.
Everything. Everyone.
Wait, what did I just tweet? What did I just do? I'm learning. I'm trying to tweet the live stream. Okay, there's Blake's. You tweeted it?
No, I retweeted.
You tweeted the retweet of the tweeters?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go on to my... What's today? Monday? It's Monday.
It is Monday.
And it is snowing in Idaho, ladies and gentlemen.
Winter wonderland, yeah.
Blake couldn't even get up here.
No.
Yeah, you're going to have to start driving that truck, dude. That four-wheeler.
I think that works well because then it will be in a garage and it won't be beaten by the elements. Just
sitting out here, yeah. Yeah, I hope it doesn't. I hope this is it. Like, I hope this is the snow that sticks and it's wintertime.
Oh, I thought you meant like you don't want any more snow. I hope this is it.
What
do you mean?
I feel like this, well, I was looking at the forecast. I think it's going to get warm like later on in the week. But like, I'm excited. You know when you like have the snow, when you're like, it's winter for sure, it's winter. And we're live now.
I just saw somebody tweet me a picture of the white fudge chocolate Oreos.
Is it that time?
Thank you. I think it is this time.
Is that time of the year again?
That makes me excited. Thanks, Miss Sweetheart. Miss Sweetheart too.
We're gonna get some white chocolate covered Oreos. Today's really show brought to you by white chocolate chip Oreos.
Smash, smash,
those are dangerously fattening. Listen, we gotta. You know what? We gotta clean our acts up, dude. We're getting.
We are doing that. I was just
I'm getting
looking
chubby.
up.
I gotta go on a TV show in New York in 3.5 weeks to promote our book. And there have been way too many parties, celebrations, treats, going out to eat.
Halloween,
I gotta clean it up,
candy.
man. I gotta clean it up and zip it up and tighten it up.
You know who was looking really good this morning, though?
What?
Gavin was looking really good this morning.
Yeah, Gavin's he's doing a treadmill every morning.
He's been doing that every morning, and he's looking thin, yeah. And he was so proud because he actually had lost 7 pounds since the last time he weighed himself. So he was really happy.
He can sing.
He can. Oh, he's gonna sing at Carly's wedding
he's getting
dinner.
Better too.
Yeah,
it's impressive.
You know what? All of our kids.
I'm not just saying that because I made him. But he can sing. He really can sing. Like even in choir. And he doesn't, I'm so proud of him that he doesn't care about what other people think. Mm-hmm. And I hope he doesn't, when he hits puberty, you know, when you get older, you have this self-awareness.
Yeah.
But I feel like our kids have more of a self-awareness because of the videos. So I hope they don't go through that all of a sudden, I noticed that I'm a person that needs to look cool and now I'm afraid to be funny or something. But like in church yesterday, they did a choir thing or the primary program. I was I'm like, dude, bring it down a notch because he was up there. What were they singing? They were doing some hand movements. They're like going like this. Prophet, and he was getting into it where he was like a 50s. He was like in a Chicago. He was like on like Reno Sweeney, you know. He was like Chicago. I was like, and he was doing it just to make us laugh. I know it.
I love it though because every other kid his age is too cool to do that. Like there was some that wouldn't even go up and do the primary program because they're too old. Because he's right on the verge. Once he turns 12, and it's January, then he will not be in primary anymore. So
he was shaking and grooving up there.
He's the oldest, but I love it. He's such a good example.
It was too much. It was irreverent. But it was making me laugh. So, and he knew it. And then, so I was like trying to put my head down because I think
he is his father's son.
He knows that if he starts making me laugh, he wants to make me laugh more. And so I'm like, he needs to stop. So I was like putting my head down like this. Anyways, it was funny.
That's funny. I love it. Should we roll?
Chicago. Okay, yeah, we could do. Well, hey, we were live. We're live right now, so anything we say or do could be catastrophic.
Held against us in the court of law.
Could be catastrophic. Let's talk for 5 minutes to these live folks. Let's look on the Twitter.
Do you want to take any questions from the comment section here?
Well, let me look.
I was looking at Twitter and I got distracted by the white chocolate covered Oreos. Sorry about that. Okay.
Are you gonna go get some of those?
Katie Smiles with Katie is working out while she's watching. Get it, girl.
Dude, that reminds me of I want to do a live workout. Would you do that to help us get in shape for the new year? Me and you should commit to doing like a 3-day-a-week live show where we work out and they can work out with us.
I don't know.
I'm asking you as a chubby bearded man in need.
I don't like the idea of working out live and people watching me working out.
Well,
I think that's a little weird.
I forgot about perverts.
Yeah. I mean, if everybody was really going to work out with us.
Mommy Tard, I sent you some yoga pants in the P.O. box. Did you get them? So you're going to use those as a workout?
Shut up. That's what I'm talking about. I think that's a little weird.
It sucks that there's perverts. Man, why do perverts got to ruin stuff?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
what's a pervert? My grandpa used to yell at people and call them perverts.
He did?
And if they were driving wrong, he'd be like, you pervert! I'm like, Grandpa.
Grandpa, I don't think that means what you think it means.
Grandpa Eugene won. If he could have had M16s on the front of his minivan, he would have. If they legally would have passed a law that like if somebody cut you off or did something wrong in traffic, you could shoot him with a machine gun. I fear, bless his heart, he's rest in peace, Grandpa
He's
Eugene.
laughing right now. I can hear.
He oftentimes because he flew in Vietnam and like he would use like I could see his thumbs wanting to like. And I'm like, Grandpa, calm down.
Bring it down.
Oh,
He's
Eugene.
so awesome.
He probably doesn't want me telling that story.
Well, he doesn't matter now.
Do you think that's true? Like, do you think, like, think about that. If you're dead and, you know, there was a story like that, like when you did when you were alive and then people brought it up, you'd be like, oh my gosh.
I think if it was like super incriminating, maybe. Yeah. But that's not. That's just like a silly thing. That's not incriminating. Right?
What's a silly thing? Wanting to shoot people with a machine gun?
Well, it's just like our memory of him being feisty.
No, yeah, he wasn't.
It's not like he's it's not a horrible person.
That's not maybe a funny joke right now in the light of the recent attacks in Paris, which are, oh my gosh. I'm nervous, man.
Well, you know.
Listen, you want to hear my solution? Because everybody wants to know.
Everybody's got a solution.
Here's my solution. We need to look at people in the eyeballs.
Well,
we need to say hi to each other. Yeah. We need to give some high fives. We need to open some doors for each other. We need to be like, hey, how are you doing? What's person sitting over there by yourself?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, why is everybody over here talking and that person's over there by themselves? Like, we need to fix that problem. That's to me the root of, I mean, and then listen, okay, I just stepped into a can of, didn't want to step into that. But I think at the base of it, we need to open our arms and our eyes and say hi to each other and talk to each other, because more guns is not going to help. More anger is not going to help. More Facebook posts aren't going to help. More interacting with each other in daily life, like not being afraid to say, hey, how's it going? Can you believe the snow?
Or in keeping, everybody needs to keep their eyeballs out. When you're in a public place, like don't just be on your phone and not paying attention to what's going on around you.
We're in a real war. We're in a literal war. And I agree. I think.
And it sucks that you have to be suspicious of people, I guess. But maybe not be suspicious, but observant.
Yeah, I mean.
Observant.
Because listen, any person can come into a building with a gun. White crazy kid, you know, a black guy, whoever. It doesn't matter. Like terrorism and what this is, just pure evil. I mean, it doesn't always have a face, right? Like it's anybody. But you're right. It sucks. Like we are in a day-to-day battle and it's like we have to be watching. And I've said it before on this podcast, but it's like I say as a society, we need to say, hey, big dudes that used to play football, guess what? As a rule, you always have to sit by the door. Sorry, you're big and strong. We need your help. Sit by the door, and if anybody weird comes in, anybody that has a gun, you tackle them. Hey, kids in schools, here's a new policy. You see anybody in the school with a gun, you throw shit at them. Staplers, books, shoes. You attack these people. Yeah. Right now, we have to fight back. You know? Oh, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
Did I just say throw shit at them?
Yes, you did.
But I mean it, you know, it's a different world and we got to get serious and we got to love each other. We got to stop the pain. We got to look at each other in the eyes. We got to talk. We got to dance in the rain. We got to do that kind of stuff. We got to like just lighten up and love each other and just maybe it's a high hope that will never happen. But
well, I don't think that we should stop having faith in society and faith in people. I think that will help. I don't know. I think the way that we've all come together after this latest thing in Paris is a good thing. I mean, everything on Twitter was, you know, pray for Paris. And I think that
I agree with that. Like looking at my Facebook, people had the Paris flag over their picture that I think back to days of like, 9/11 and like that American Pride era where people hated France. And it was like, or even, I can't remember when it was, but like a lot of people that I never would have expected to have a France, see-through banner to show support over there. I was impressed. So
that's why it's like, it brings us together as a world.
It sucks that, sometimes that kind of horrible situation sometimes is the only thing that can like bring people together and be like, hey, let's stop bickering over these silly little things and realize that there's a lot bigger issue here. We're at a war. There's people just like, some people are just jamming out at a concert. It was a band from Los Angeles. Some dudes that live from LA, they, get a big break to go play in France. And all of a sudden there's guns going off like that. We can't live in a place like that. We got to fight that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you do it, but we got to talk about it. It's a real thing. We can't be fighting over stupid stuff on Facebook when this is a real issue.
Yeah.
When you can't even like go in an airport or go to a public place or a movie. I am scared to go in a movie now sometimes. I just think I'm going to sit down there.
Like you can't relax and enjoy the movie anymore.
If I'm in a movie, like I consciously think like I'm going to sit right by. So if somebody comes in, I would rather be in jumping distance from somebody that comes in with a gun than like 20, 30 feet away. So sometimes when I go into public places, I sit in a place where I'm like, if somebody come in here, I could tackle them right here. I could take one big jump and just go after them. And that may sound like macho, but you would like to hope you would think you would do that in that situation, What are we talking about? It got deep real quick, didn't it?
Yeah. Well,
are we live? This is live. Are we live? Is this?
Blake.
Dan, is the internet turned on? Did we turn on the www? We done? Okay.
Blake's face is like, yep, we're live.
Well, thanks for joining us for this live show.
So, about those Twitter questions.
That's what I love about Hank and John's comedy podcast. They'll be talking about something like death and like the worst things, and John, they're
and
like,
all of a sudden they're
hilarious. I love this comedy podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Well, let's do a real podcast. Should we stop the live?
Should we answer any questions?
Yeah. Seems like everything else will be inconsequential after that. I told our kids that. Rick, Grag's going to France? I've never been to the Eiffel Tower.
I haven't either.
And to me, that's like, it's not an attack on France, it's an attack on society. Because it's like, that's a thing that I pictured that I would do in my life, right?
Yeah.
I always pictured like, what's my Instagram of the Eiffel Tower going to look like? What filter will I use when I take my picture in front of the Eiffel Tower? And now it's like, they're going to close it down so people can't go. You can't go to the top of the Statue of Liberty now because of these idiots. Like, this is why you can't have nice things.
This is why you can't have nice things.
It just dawned on me the other day when I was seeing all these people post their pictures next to the Eiffel Tower, and I realized that I didn't have an Eiffel Tower picture, and I realized that I may never have an Eiffel Tower picture because of these idiots. And that's a shallow thing to think.
But, I mean, it's a real fear. It's a real possibility.
It's a real fear that I might not get my picture. Well, yeah. I just thought about the families of the people who lost, and I just thought that's a superficial thing to think. But
I think you were like the overall lining of like we're losing the ability to like visit, and
a historic spot.
Have a free world where we're like visiting each other, and I don't know.
There's just this like anarchy type attitude where it's just like, this desire to cause chaos. I don't know, man. It's so scary. What was your next question? I love this comedy podcast we do.
Ruki Sharma says, I'm so happy I'm finally watching you live for once. I agree, Colette. Faith is what is going to keep us going. Then Marissa asked, what do you guys think about the people who blame an entire religion on this attack?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, because people are people. Yeah, and there's many, many people that believe certain religions that are totally different than other people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like you can. And some people skew their own religion.
This is the thing. You can't categorize people.
Yeah.
Like even, the five of us in this room, like we vary so differently. People are so complicated. So just because it's like, that's what sucks about like comparison, because it's like, well, maybe one of those guys who did that was a Muslim. And then it's like everybody who loves Islam and has been faithful to it and believes in the tenets of, the good part of Islam. I guess there's extreme parts.
Yeah.
And, people say that. It's like, because I asked that question. I said, how can people plot and plod to cause or create such calculated chaos, and it's because of religion. And to be fair, that's what a lot of their justification is.
Right. But I don't think, it's like Hillary Clinton was saying, like, you can't blame it on all people of that religion, just the radicals that are taking this in a different way or taking it to an extreme. Or
that's what I hope people understand, is that, like, listen, they make their own decision, right?
Yeah.
And they make their own decision based on whatever things are in their minds. But we all agree as a whole species that taking innocent lives is not okay.
Okay.
Regardless of what your God says.
Right.
Right? And
exactly.
I mean, that's the most basic right that we all have, is just like freedom to stay alive. Mm-hmm. And so that's what sucks when people are like, well, it's religion that causes this. It's like, well, it sucks that everything gets classified into one, like all religion is bad because some people shot somebody. That's what I hate, what you see like in Facebook posts and headlines. Religion is bad because these guys shot people in France.
Right.
Like, that's not, it's so... You gotta, it's
way too pinholed, I guess. What's the word?
You just gotta, these people are crazy. There's no
pigeonholed.
Pigeonholed. I'm like, what is the word? I don't know. Well, because it goes opposite. Like, people are good and do great things in the name of religion. So,
it's hard to talk about any of this because I just feel so helpless sometimes.
Yeah.
I just I don't want to say anything, but then we have to sometimes. I go through phases of that where I'm like, I'm just going to keep to myself, you know, because it's like, there's another thing I was talking about.
There's so much emotion.
Text hurts us. That's why live streaming I think is good, because then you can hear intonation and you don't get that through text. You read text.
And you can take it however you want.
There's no sarcasm font. Okay, we got to start this live show. We got to do our podcast. You guys, big news, huge news. A lot of you have asked, is there going to be an audiobook for Shay and Gavin's book? Yes. In fact, the guy is coming today. Mm-hmm. So we kind of got to hustle because a man is flying here in this crazy weather from New York to record the audiobook that we're going to put up on Audible. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
There's going to be an actual audiobook.
Cool. I can't wait to hear you reading your book to me.
It's going to be weird. And that's what I have to do. Cool. The guy said it's going to take like 4 days.
Yeah.
So there's going to be like 4 days. I don't know. I think I can do it faster.
You're reading the book out loud.
Right. And I'm sure he's going to be like, nope, you said that word wrong.
It's not like a super short book.
Listen, we're 200 plus pages, people. That's that
would take me a couple days for sure.
That's a novel in some sense. So we got to get this podcast done, and then the dude is landing, and then we're probably going to have to go get him because it's snowing so bad. He's not going to be able to get up here with just a regular rental car from the airport because I don't think they sell snowmobiles down there. So we're going to have to go down and get him and bring him up to the studio, and then he's going to be stuck here in the mountains of Idaho for a week listening to me read the book to him.
Yep.
And that should be interesting. So we're going to do a podcast right now. Check it out. WTKGTS. That's what it's called. And then we're going to be doing a book podcast. We're going to be talking about, these are the first base 5 books that I'm going to have to my Shay Carl. These are your 10. Oh, we got to get Dave Ramsey. That's a definite.
Yeah. We have
piece.
that one though.
I have it down there. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to have 10 books that I'm like, these are the 10 books that to me got me where I'm at. Like I would still to this day read these 4 books, these 5 books. Dude, Dave Ramsey quoted this book in the foreword to the book that I just wrote with Gavin. These books, man, dude, that is such a full circle moment. Dave Ramsey definitely has to be in here. And then he quotes this book in the foreword of our new book. That means more to me than almost anything. As I look into the eyes of my turnip companion.
I'm like, oh, really?
Dave Ramsey's forward means almost more. All right, so check it out. See you later. Turn off the internet now. Cut it. Get the scissors, Dan.